a cambiare le regole del gioco, ma voglio vivere così questa avventura, senza frontiere, con il cuore in gola. Il mondo in una giostra di colori, e il vento accarezza le bandiere, arriva un brivido e ti trascina via, e sciogli in un abbraccio la follia.
Good evening, sport fans, and welcome to Sports Bonanza on Cam1 television. Coming up in this edition of the program, we shall be talking about the University Interquarters Football Tournament as Cassava Farms FC shall this year again be at the center stage, that is the finals, and they shall be taking on Choke City of City Seat. We shall also be talking about the draws for this year's National Round Robin Tournament, that is the Interpols, as the Southwest Regional Representative paired with heavyweights or former heavyweights like Sable or Batier. And the head coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Mark Bryce, has unveiled his list for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Eswatini and Cape Verde respectively. We shall be rounding up the show by talking about the UEFA Champions League as the pairings have been done, and we shall get the various permutations. I'm your homo presenter, Cam1 Ayamba. Don't you go away, we shall be right back. Welcome back, and you're on to Sports Bonanza on Cam1 Regional Television. And today, in this edition of the program, we shall be joined by our sports analyst, that is Franklin Basong. He joins us in today's edition of the program. Good evening, Basong, and you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Aka Ayamba, and to our viewers of Cam1 TV. It's an honor to be here to give my input on sports.
Well, let's begin by talking about the University Interquarters Football Tournament as we are into the finals, and it has been a very, very beautiful spectacle from the beginning to where we find ourselves to get the finalists. And this year's edition, Cassava Farms FC shall be making it into 3 successive finals, and well, they have become the Real Madrid of the University Interquarters Football Tournament. They will be playing against Choke City.
Yeah, certainly, Aka Ayamba, you said 3, but it is 5.
Yeah,
5 finals in a row, and they have won 4 out of the 5. They have won 3 out of the 4. This is their 5th final in a row. 2021, they played Mukunda, they won. 2022, they played Sawa FC of Dogia, they lost. 2023, they played against Makoka, which they won, and last year they played against My 4, which they won. So they have won 3 out of the 4 finals. I think it is a history in the making that Cassava Farms will be playing the 5th final in a row. I think it is history in the making, and I think they deserve to be there. They got the quality, they got what it takes to be at these finals. I think it was good, as we saw in last Wednesday semi-final against Jamestown of Lumsdon.
Let's digest the various semi-final games that were played. The first semi-finals was between the Cassava Farms FC and you see passionate fans of the University Interquarters, that is Penda, a passionate fan of Middle Farms FC. Also, unfortunately, Middle Farms were booted out at the quarterfinals. But let's talk about the first semi-final game that was between Cassava Farms and Jamestown FC of Lumsdon. Jamestown, everybody thought Jamestown this time around are going to get you to the finals with all the publicity. But Jamestown this time around, they went, they saw, but they failed to conquer.
Yeah, I think Jamestown FC of Lumsdon, this is their second participation And the first was last year, which they attained the quarterfinal, and the second is this year, which I think they attained the third place.
That is one step further.
It's an achievement so far. Even though Jamestown did not make through the final, but I think it was an achievement, being that they played the best football, but they couldn't make it. It was penalties. I come back to the game of play. It was really a tight game, which went to penalties, and I think this game was so tight that it took the technical know-how of the coaches. I saw a slight technical advantage for Cassava Farms FC, being that the coach did his homework very well. Jamestown, they played, they were very combative, they were very good, but I think up front was really, there were shots of ideas up front. It was a tight one. It was 0-all tie at regular time, and of course penalty, which the goalkeeper of Cassava Farms FC, but he played for Dynamo of Douala. Yeah, he's a good keeper, yeah, and he has stopped, I think, 3 penalties in a row from the knockout stage throughout. So I think he's a very good keeper. So I think Jamestown may have deserved to go through, but luck wasn't on their side.
Luck wasn't on the side of Jamestown FC, and there is one thing that is peculiar about Jamestown FC, their medical staff. We have been seeing in football most of the medical staffs that are very, very active and they are pretty passionate about the game of football, mostly male men. But this time around, Jamestown proved to the people of Limbe in the quarters competition talked about gender equality.
Yeah.
Their team doctor was a lady, and by name Inda Tamak. Yes, that is the name, Inda Tamak. That is she running very, very passionately whenever a player of Jamestown FC is down, or whenever a player of Jamestown FC needs medical attention. How did you come about selecting a female who is a lady that is so passionate in football and getting into football in such a manner? How do you, Jamestown, come about selecting a lady who is so passionate to do the job?
Firstly, Jamestown is a social club. It's based out there in Lumsum, and Ida happens to stay in Lumsum. Ida is my kid sister. And Ida she's doing nursing, so she's a certified nurse, and she has a mastery of medical when it comes to medical issues. So being that she stays in Lumsum and she's used to these players, so when we brought the idea of Jamestown, she was so passionate about Jamestown, and
but the fact is that
brought her into this concept. And
the fact is that you guys of Jamestown should not be too proud of Ida, because Ida was born in Garden.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah,
Gardens are the people who to Jamestown.
Certainly, born in Garden, but she now stays. She is part of a Lumsum, yeah, because that was the mother and family reside. Yeah. So I think that Jamestown taught it why, because most of the teams, they have amateurs when it comes to medical staff, but we thought it was to bring somebody who has a mastery. You know, a player can have headache, or a player can have a cramp, or a player can have issues, but either being somebody who is an expert who know what to do. Most cases, you see a player is lying down, they go with water and ice block, but perhaps it is not what the player needs. So I think bringing Ida, who have a mastery of medical, I think it was a plus to Jamestown. Yeah, being that she's a certified, somebody who has a mastery of medical issues. I think was a help, because sometimes the players who have headache, fever, Ida will be there to give them some support as medical is concerned.
So they say what a man can do, a woman can do.
And she's so passionate about what she's doing. So yeah, kudos to Ida and Tamak.
Okay, that was the first game between Jamestown FC of Lumsum and Cassava Farms, in which Cassava Farms carried the day after post-match penalties. Then let's move on and talk about the second semi-finals. That was between Bokunda FC versus Chok City, and that game ended 3-1. It was a very, very tense game. We saw a lot of ruthless tackles coming out in that game. I don't know what provoked that, but I will tell you, the referee of that game happened to manage that game very well, because if at all she didn't manage the game very well. we could have had about 3 or 4 red cards in that game.
Yeah, certainly. I think she did her best. She's Elite 2 referee, the Guinness Super League. Yeah, I think his name is
Elite 1.
Yeah, Elite 1. Yeah, Ayuk Priscilla. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, your namesake.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a tight game. I felt in one other radio station that Mukunda will play, but Chuck City has all it takes to go through because they are very physical and they know what to do at a given time. But I was a bit disappointed with Mukunda because they played very well, but there was a point that they went out of control, which I think the coach, Jofak, would have managed this team. A player like Frank Mafani, what he did, Aka, you were there, he didn't show the player who yeah, he's young. Yeah, somebody said that Frank Mafani hates to lose. Whenever they are losing, he got out of
the
control.
Football is a game of you win, you lose, or you draw.
Yeah, we know that. Yes, he's still a teenager. Yes, he gets better. I think he was so out of control, and the entire Mukunda side, when they're losing, they get out of control. Some rough tackle, which I think that the least would have given a red card or yellow card, but she have to put things in order. But I think kudos to Chuck City. I think they were so brave, they were so resilient, and I think they got the game at their palm fingertips.
When Chuck City got the first goal and then Mukunda responded by equalizing, did you see that the game could be a balanced game, or did you see that Mukunda was in the ascendant?
Chuck City took the game, scored a good goal. Mukunda equalized. Mukunda gained possession. But Chuck City did not fall back. I think other team would have fallen back. It is rare, Aka. It is rare to see you being leading the equalize and you come back from a draw. It is rare. So it shows that Chuck City, they got the mental strength because these are high class players. Even though Ashu Kerido was not in his best because you see some. I think the goal it was a close range. I think that would have stopped that goal from Afani, but I think need to up their game. So Chuck City was on their top, coming back, and they've won all their games on the field of play without going to penalties. So I think it's a team that they are very, very
this is the team that struggled during the first round to qualify for the next phase of the competition. They lost about 2 games.
Certainly, they drew 3-all the first game, lost second game, came back powerfully. But I think that Chuck City only gained momentum against Manu Boys, yes, which they won, and they won my 4, which are the heavyweight, and from there I think they believe in themselves.
Okay, that was the Limbe City Interquarters Football Tournament, and let's move on and talk about what's the Limbe City Interquarters Football Tournament. Let's move on and talk about the National Round Robin Tournament, that is the Interpols, that is going to take place in first week or in early weeks of September, and the draws have been made. And in Pool A, we have Kumba City from the southwest, Diamant of Yagua from the extreme north. We have Sablo of Bache, the Sansan Boys coming back again. These are former winners of the MTN League One Football Championship, and also quarter-finalists of the CAF Champions League. And from the West Region, and also Olympic of Beganga from Adamawa Region, and the representative from Center, that is going to come between FC Mintak Centurion versus Fududa Konolia. So that game ended prematurely when Mintak was leading by 1-0. Crowd trouble, and the game was stopped. So the homologation and disciplinary committee of the Cameroon Football Federation is going to decide which team will qualify from the Center region. So that is those are the draws. Now, the team, our representative from the Southwest region, do you see Kumba City coming out from this pool, where we have the likes of Sape the Batie, and the team from the Center region, not forgetting Olympic of Meganga and Jaman of Yagua?
Yeah, I think it's a fair pool because avoiding a case where we have an all Anglophone derby between Kumba City and Jim FC, but I think they have in separate pool. My only fear in that pool is Sablo Bati. I think having watched them, they are very formidable side and they got that momentum. And also Mintak, of Upper Sanaga, they were there last year and maybe they might still come this year. I think they are a team in progression. But I think Kumba City, they are used to, with the likes of Coach Moses Bambod, having Coach Dynamic of Boya, Coach Fonta Street of Bamenda, and I think it's a coach that knows that knows what is at stake at this level. So my only fear is Sable of Bati, which I think may be a threat in that pool. But for Diamang of Yagua, I don't think the league in the north, the far north, is that competitive as what we have here. The like of Olympic of Ninganga, I don't think the league in the otherwise much more. So I think, to me, it's a fair pool. My only worry may be Sable of Bati, which I think, like you said, the Sable of Bati is the first team. To make it to the quarterfinals. To play the group stage of the modern the first out, 2000. So I think it's a household name. Something about
So let's get to Pool B. Pool B, we have FC Mintak from the north. We have Titanic FC Sama from the littoral region. We have Tungong FC from the east, and we have Epevie de Bolova. That's also an old name in the Cameroon League, and we have Dream Team FC of Bamenda.
I think haven't seen Dream Team. I think I'll give it all to Dream Team. They're very good. I saw them play. They're very resilient, and kudos to the shortstopper. Leonard, you know him very well. He played here in Limbe. He qualified 2 things in a row. Opopo.
Yes, United,
and now Dream FC. I think, and he said in the interview that he will qualify more things until he go on retirement. So it's a goal from Leonard. So I think Dream FC, to me, looking at the way they play, I think I'll give it all to them. And the team from Bolua too. It's a whole house name, and the South region now seems to be
the center of football.
Putting all it takes. When Colomb won Cameroon Cup, they took the cup to the Minister of Finance from the South region, Lipo Motaze. I think they have all the big guns who can put in money. And if the finance boss can be there, so means that the South region is having it takes. I think the South region have all the big guns in Cameroon to push the team forward. So I think Dreams Team and PV, to me, would be the front runner in that Pool B.
Well, Dream Team versus PV.
Certainly.
Well, let's quit that page and talk about the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. The head coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Mark Bryce, has released his 28-man squad proud for the upcoming World Cup and World Cup qualifiers against Eswatini and Cape Verde. These are 2 very, very important games because Cameroon has to. If Cameroon has to win both games to sit on top, which guarantees them probably 1 step to automatic qualification for the FIFA World Cup. Because if they don't win against Cape Verde, then it's going to be very, very complicated for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. So let's get to the players that were called up by the head coach Mark Bryce. The players called up by Mark Bryce. We have for the goalkeepers. We have 3 goalkeepers. Simon Ngapendu. The name looks very, very long. And Simon Omosola, former goalkeeper of Cotton Sport of Galwa. Then we have Andre Onana. For the defenders, Christopher Wu, Jackson Chachwa, Jean-Charles Castelletto. We have Tolo, Michael Gadri. We have Nagida Abubakar Mohamadu. We have Malcolm Bokele and Flavien Boulou. For the midfielders, Franz Andre Zambo Angisa, Carlos Baleba, Atu Avok from Lorient. We had a very, very beautiful outing. Had an impressive outing in the last friendly games. We also have Martin Hongla, Ivan Neyu, and Martin Atemenge. So for the attackers, we have Christian Basogok, Brian Bemo, Nicolas Brice Mouin Gamale. We have Frank Magri, Vincent Abubakar, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting. We have Danny Namaso. We have George Kevin Nkudu, and we have Patrick Soko. Let's begin from the defense line, and then we get to the attack.
Goalkeeper.
I mean, sorry, from the goalkeeping sector. The three goalkeepers are usual. They are very, very usual goalkeepers that are there for the Indomitable Lions.
Yes, I think the first keeper you call Simon. The first Simon, the name is very long. I think I've not seen his input. He was even the third keeper or second also with Marseille, but I think he signed a contract with I think a Ligue 2 club in France. Simon, the name is still is a little bit long. I don't think why not instead of wasting time. Yes, I don't see. He didn't have a single game for Marseille last season, and either he's on loan or he has gone on a transfer to a club, a Ligue 2 club in France. So why not put a home-based keeper? We have many of them here in Cameroon. Yeah, so but the other two, Omosola, yeah, we saw I think he's doing good out there in Congo and Jordan. So I prefer even Ondwa Fabrice to that Simon, the other Simon you mentioned, because he did not play any single game for Marseille. So what is the base? What is the yardstick to call him? So I think that is a waste of resources.
Well, let's get to the defenders. Christopher Wu, Jackson Chachwa, Jean-Charles Castelletto, Nuhu Tolo, Michael Daniel Gadri, Nagida Mohamedou, Malcolm Bokele, Flavian Boyomo. And do you see Abubakar Nagida Mohamedou to challenge Nuhu Tolo in the left back position? Because in the last game, he was very, very impressive.
Yeah, these are the regular, like we said, Nuhu Tolo. It's a right back, a left back. Sorry, yeah, it's a left back, and a left back, and since he came in, he has saved his place. Yeah, he came in.
So we are seeing youngsters like
Tolu came in and had to displace Ambrose Oyongo. Since then, Oyongo went out of form and out of place, so no has filled that place. But now, no Tolo have another competitor that I think that they should fight for a place at the left back.
Because the last game Abubakar Nagida was there and it was fantastic at the left back.
And Chachua Jackson also came in after out.
There is no fire calling.
So now Chachua, have been so good for last season for Hellas Verona.
And signed with Wolverhampton.
Certainly, I think it is so. I think it's a regular. We are to see Chachua at the right, Nuhu at the left, then Gandhi and maybe
we have
Christopher Wu. I think it's going to be difficult. Either Christopher Wu or Jean-Claude at the. I prefer Christopher Wu because he's big, he's tall, and he's robust, and I think he's got a grip of that centre back. I prefer Michael Gandhi and Christopher Wu at the centre back.
Okay, for the midfielders, we have Frank Andre Zambo Angisa, Carlos Baleba, Achu Avom, very impressive in the last game. We have Martin Hongla, Ivan Neyu, and Martin Akemengi.
A difficult.
There are some notable absences in the midfield.
Certainly a difficult one because if you look at all the midfielders are mostly holding midfielders. We don't have offensive midfielders who have that creativity. Baleba is a holding midfielder. Hongla is the same. Angisa is the same. I think there's going to be a lack of creativity now at the midfield. All of them seem to be defensive consciousness. Baleba is more defensive, though he's young and he's had a little bit of offensive mindset. Hongla is the same, so I think there will be a little bit lack of that creativity in the midfield. And when the midfield lack that creativity, we hardly see those passes up front. So
there is a notable absence also of Eno Boris.
Who played in the USA.
Yes.
My God. So, all the same, the coach knows his tactics, but we as analysts, no Kunde Malong, who plays out there in Dubai. So, I think that midfield is good. I love Baleba, I love Angisa, Hongla Martin, but I think who will be that? Give that
probably might be Achu Avom,
might be that creative midfielder up front. But I think we have more of defensive than offensive midfielder. So it's a must-win game. So we need to be defensive mindset. Maybe that's why the coach brought more of holding midfielder than those who are creative. For
the attackers, Christian Basogo, Graham Bemo, Nicolas Brice, Mumingamale, Frank Magri, Besa Abubakar, Eric, Maxime Choupo-Moting. We also have Dani Namaso, very impressive young player. George Kevin Kudu, also impressive in this stance, and Patrick Soko, who was also impressive in the last friendly games.
Yeah, Aka, if you look at the lineup, we have more of attackers than even defenders.
Probably some attackers will be treated back as offensive midfielder.
I talk about
a player like Brian Bemo, creativity, a player like Choupo-Moting, a player like Danina Masu.
Yeah, I think it now depends on the coach system, because sometimes you can be creative at the flanks, and we know of Basogok and Buemo at the flanks. They are very creative, so it depends on the system by the coach. But I think yeah, so far so good. It's a good attacking front. Though Abubakar Vincent is aging, Maxime Choupo-Moting is aging, though he is scoring in the USA, but yeah, I don't think competitively he is up the task. There's this guy for Villarreal. He was not. I think he's not young. He's not there. I think he's better off than Choupo-Moting. So all the same, we always judge the coach after the game, because he knows why he called these players. So we always judge him after the game. We do our review after the game. But for now, I think it's a good lineup. My only worry, like I told you, is the goalkeeper. That Simon Ngape, Tenyu or whatever, I think he did not play any game for Marseille. So he's called up, Aka.
Well, let's quit that page. Time is on our side. Let's round up by talking about the UEFA Champions League. Draws for the UEFA Champions League were conducted yesterday, and they were very, very important draws. And let's just watch. Let's just get the draws for the Premier League teams, because there are 6 teams this year coming from England. Because one team won the Europa League, and 5 teams have to come from England. And for Arsenal, they have Bayern of Munich, Inter of Milan, Atletico Madrid, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Sparta Prague, Kiryat Almaty, and Athletic Club Bilbao.
Yeah, a fair pull for Arsenal.
How many of these clubs do you think Arsenal can move past them very easily?
Arsenal can go past Olympiacos, can go past Club Brugge,
Slavia Prague,
I think.
Kiryat Almaty.
Yeah, it certainly.
Athletic Club Bilbao and San Mamés.
Bilbao is difficult because it's an away game at San Mamés. But I think looking at Arsenal,
Atletico Madrid, also tough not to crack.
Not bad. They are proving not to be consistent, so I will not give them a chance. I think Arsenal can still.
How about Inter Milan away?
Inter Milan away, yeah. Arsenal, Inter Milan is a new.
Last year they were beaten by Inter Milan away.
At San Siro, but now
very difficult now.
Christian Kivu has come with. I don't see Kivu.
Their first game they won 4-0. Well, let's get to Chelsea.
I think Arsenal is still.
Let's get to Chelsea. Chelsea, they are playing Barcelona at home, Bayern Munich away, Benfica home, Atalanta away, Ajax, Napoli away, Pafos at home, and Qarabağ away. Chelsea are a tricky one. Chelsea, Barcelona.
I'm not a fan of Chelsea, but looking at Chelsea, their style, recruitment, I can hit my chest that Chelsea is the toughest club now in Europe. The way they play, they score for fun.
So they have Barcelona.
It's no matter.
They have Bayern Munich away. There is also Atalanta there, which is a very, very stubborn opponent. There is a Napoli of Antonio Conte.
Yeah. Napoli can be tougher because Conte knows what it takes to. I think Chelsea.
Just Ajax of Amsterdam.
No, Chelsea is on top of that.
Okay, let's get to Liverpool. Liverpool has Inter Milan. Liverpool has Real Madrid at home. Inter Milan away. Atletico Madrid at home. Eintracht Frankfurt, PSG Eindhoven, Olympique de Marseille. Olympique de Marseille away. Qarabağ and Galatasaray.
Liverpool will stay afloat in that pool. The only toughest.
They have Inter Milan away, Olympique of Marseille away,
At the start velodrome, yeah,
Yes.
Marseille have not recruited the top players.
They have Galatasaray away. Very tough game.
Yeah, in Istanbul. But I think Liverpool is on top.
Okay.
But I'm seeing a tricky game.
Enter Frankfurt.
No, cornerback.
That's no match for Liverpool.
No, it's a tough side.
That's no match for Liverpool.
Let's get Azerbaijan. Cornerback,
No. That's not for Liverpool. Man City, they have Borussia Dortmund at home, Real Madrid away, Bayer Leverkusen at home, Villarreal away, Napoli home, Bodo Glimt away, Galatasaray home, Monaco away. But I think Man City, they have an easier pool. Newcastle has
Man City. Man City would have been tough. Would have faced a tough battle if we still have Carlo Ancelotti at Madrid. But with Alonso, I think Man City will Real Madrid will not be.
Okay, let's get to Newcastle. We have Newcastle have Barcelona home, Paris Saint-Germain away, Benfica at home, Leverkusen away, PSV at home, Olympique de Marseille away, Athletic Bilbao at home, and Union Saint-Galoise away.
Yeah, Newcastle may have a fair pool. I think they got a good side. Eddie Howe have built this team very strong, but they will face Barcelona. Yeah, Dortmund,
Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain.
A tough one, but I think with teams like PSV,
Benfica is the way
Benfica played Fenerbahce.
Well,
Mourinho was fired.
Yeah, of course. Jose Mourinho was fired.
I at the half time. It was one-sided. I don't know if this same team that with Fenerbahce. My God. And Benfica was is a top notch.
Well, let's get to Tottenham Hotspurs. They have Borussia Dortmund at home, Paris Saint-Germain away, Villarreal home, Eintracht Frankfurt away, Slavia Prague at home, Bodo Glimt, the FC Copenhagen and Monaco. Tottenham has a
Tottenham must win against Monaco, against Copenhagen, and against Bodo Glimt. Yeah, with the coming of Thomas Frank, I think he has predestined. Yeah. It's a tough group, but Tottenham must fail too.
Well, time is not on our side. Basong, before we go, your last words.
Certainly, Aka, thank you very much for inviting me, and just to say farewell. It's a farewell. There was a farewell party for Jamestown or Lumsden last week. Wednesday, at Lumsden, and we came third.
It's still this week.
We came third, and kudos to Lumsden, and hopefully next year. Will come bigger and stronger.
Well, it is here we call it quit in today's edition of the program. I'm your presenter, Cam1, signing off from the studios of Cam1 Radio and Television. Stay tuned to all other programs of Cam1 Radio and Television. Until then, tomorrow is another day.
Il mondo in una giostra di colori. E il vento accarezza le bandiere. Arriva un brivido e ti trascina via. E sciogli in un abbraccio la follia. Notti magiche, inseguendo blu, sotto il cielo, di un'estate invernale. Forse non sarà una canzone a cambiare le regole.